Let's talk about Taiwan because right now the world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. You might have heard warnings China could invade Taiwan within months. US officials call the threat imminent. And with every new military drill across the Taiwan Strait, the tension ramps up. But here's the thing, China might not even need to fire a single shot. Why does China want Taiwan so badly? To really get this, I have to rewind. The People's Republic of China has never governed Taiwan, but since 1949, it's considered the island a breakaway province. The Chinese constitution literally calls reunification a sacred duty. And President Xi Jinping? He's not shy about this. He says, "No one can sever our family bonds. The reunification of the Chinese nation is unstoppable." For Beijing, Taiwan isn't just a piece of land. There's history, national pride, and strategic power all wrapped into one. Taiwan sits smack in the middle of vital shipping lanes, and it's a global tech powerhouse, especially for semiconductors. If China controls Taiwan, it's a massive leap forward for its global ambitions. But here's where things get interesting. China's game isn't just military, it's psychological. Recent polls show almost half of Taiwanese think America is more dependable than China, but 43% feel the opposite. And as the West's influence seems to waver, China is betting that cultural ties and shared history will eventually win over hearts and minds in Taiwan. Beijing is hoping that slowly the Taiwanese people will see blood is thicker than water. So, while the world imagines a dramatic invasion, China is already waging a quieter war, a battle for trust, loyalty, and national identity. They use legal tools too, the One China principle and the anti-secession law, which basically say, if Taiwan ever tries to formally break away, China has a legal excuse, at least in its own eyes, to use force. China's made it clear. They see the issue as an internal matter. No outside interference allowed. And they've set some not-so-secret deadlines: 2027, the 100th anniversary of the People's Liberation Army, and 2049, the centennial of the PRC. But Taiwan isn't sleeping on this. Their military just ran its longest and most realistic exercises ever, calling up more reservists than ever before. They're preparing for gray zone tactics, cyber attacks, disinformation, economic pressure, all designed to sow panic long before a single soldier lands on a beach. So what's the real score? The world is caught in a high-stakes standoff. China wants Taiwan back for reasons that go way beyond land or resources. For Beijing, it's about history, legitimacy, and national destiny. But the real battleground might not be on the beaches or in the skies. It's in the minds of the people of Taiwan and in the choices made by leaders around the world. If China can win that psychological war, if Taiwan's people decide their future lies with the mainland, then the takeover might not need missiles or tanks at all. Just patience, and a whole lot of pressure. So, as headlines scream about invasions and warships, remember sometimes, the most dangerous battles happen without a single shot being fired. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit subscribe for more stories like this, and let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. While China tightens its grip, Taiwan isn't just watching from the sidelines. The island is gearing up for every possible scenario: military, cyber, and psychological. In recent months, Taiwan's armed forces have ramped up their largest ever live-fire drills, simulating beach landings, urban defense, and rapid mobilization. Thousands of reservists are being called up, trained, and integrated with regular forces in ways never seen before. The message is clear: Taiwan is ready to defend itself. But defense isn't just about soldiers and tanks. Taiwan's government is investing in civil defense too, teaching citizens how to respond to air raid sirens, organizing neighborhood response teams, and distributing emergency guides. Apps now alert people to disinformation campaigns and cyber threats. Schools are even running drills for students, preparing the next generation for every possibility. Public sentiment is shifting. Recent polls show a growing sense of unity and resilience among the population. More young people are volunteering for military service, and community groups are coming together to prepare for emergencies. The government is also working to keep morale high, using clear communication and social media to counter fear and confusion. It's a whole-of-society approach. While Taiwan's leaders know they can't outgun China, they're betting on something else: determination, readiness, and the will to resist. By strengthening both their defenses and their national spirit, Taiwan is sending a message, not just to Beijing, but to the world. No matter what comes, they're prepared to stand strong. The fate of Taiwan isn't just a local issue, it's a global flashpoint with ripple effects that could reshape the world. If tensions in the Taiwan Strait boil over, the consequences would be felt far beyond Asia's shores. First, the economic fallout. Taiwan is the beating heart of the world's semiconductor industry, producing over 60% of the world's chips and more than 90% of the most advanced ones. A conflict here could paralyze everything from smartphones to cars, sending shockwaves through global supply chains and triggering a tech crisis worldwide. Stock markets could plummet, inflation could surge, and companies everywhere would scramble to adapt. But it's about more than just dollars and devices. Politically, the United States has pledged support for Taiwan, seeing it as a cornerstone of democracy in the region. A conflict could force the US into a direct confrontation with China, risking a new era of great power rivalry. Japan, just a short flight away, has called Taiwan's security vital to its own, raising the stakes for the entire Pacific. Australia, South Korea, and even European nations are watching closely, weighing their own alliances and interests. Security in the Indo-Pacific would be shaken to its core. Shipping lanes that carry trillions in trade could become war zones, threatening energy supplies and food imports for countless nations. Military buildups, cyber attacks, and an arms race could become the new normal. Yet, amid the risks, some see an opportunity. A united global response could strengthen alliances, reinforce international law, and send a powerful message about the cost of aggression. Countries might invest more in resilience, diversify supply chains, and push for new diplomatic solutions. In the end, Taiwan's fate is tied to the world's future. The choices made here by leaders in Washington, Beijing, Tokyo, and beyond will echo for generations. The stakes? Nothing less than the balance of power, prosperity, and peace. What lies ahead for Taiwan and China? The future is uncertain, but experts point to several possible scenarios, each with its own risks, opportunities, and consequences for the world. First, the peaceful status quo. In this scenario, tensions remain, but both sides avoid direct confrontation. Taiwan continues to thrive as a vibrant democracy, while China maintains its claims but pursues peaceful engagement. The region enjoys stability, global markets remain steady, and the world breathes a collective sigh of relief, at least for now. Second, peaceful reunification. Through negotiation, Taiwan and China reach a historic agreement. Perhaps Taiwan secures a high degree of autonomy, or a new framework is created. This could ease military tensions and open new economic opportunities. However, some fear it might come at the cost of Taiwan's freedoms, and the world would watch closely to see if promises are kept. Third, armed conflict. This is the scenario the world hopes to avoid. A military clash in the Taiwan Strait would threaten millions of lives, shatter the global economy, and risk escalation between major powers. The humanitarian toll would be immense, and the Indo-Pacific could become a long-term hotspot for instability. Finally, international intervention. If conflict brews, global actors, perhaps the United States, Japan, or even the United Nations, might step in, either diplomatically or militarily. This could deter aggression and force negotiations, but it also risks drawing more countries into a wider conflict, with unpredictable results. Each scenario carries profound implications not just for Taiwan and China, but for the entire world. The future will be shaped by decisions made today, and the path chosen will define the next chapter in global history.